I welcome our principal, Dr. Suresh L. And I request him to address our students as well as the gathering here, please.
Fine, very good morning. First of all, I would like to appreciate Ms. Shoma and Sri Vidya, who are taking their valuable time to share their academic knowledge towards Vedic mathematics, and even I am eager to attend their session. Good luck. Thank you. Please start the session.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome to this webinar. I'm sorry we are not able to meet face to face because of this pandemic. Wish to meet you all in person in future. Hope all are safe. Okay. Thank you for the opportunity given. Mr. Srividya and myself are here today to give an overview of Vedic mathematics and aptitude and reasoning. The duration of this session is approximately 80 minutes. First half I'll be conducting on Vedic mathematics. Then second half will be taken by Mr. Srividya. To make this session exciting, we expect some interaction if possible. Okay. Let me start with that. How many of you are aware of Vedic mathematics? Yeah, anyone or two, if you know that. Yes, two of them have raised their hands. Yes. Any idea? Okay, let me explain that. Vedic mathematics is an ancient mathematics. Our rishis were using these tricks. In the recent years, Sri Bharati Krishna Tirtha Swamiji of Puri Shankar Math, he rediscovered Vedic mathematics from the appendix of Atharvana Veda. He formulated 16 sutras. So by using these sutras, we are able to solve each and every branch, each and every concept of Vedic mathematics. He had written 16 volumes. Unfortunately, we lost all. Due to his health condition, he could rewrite only one volume, which is available to us today. And this is very difficult to comprehend. We have tried to simplify it so that everybody can learn easily. Before we move to the concept, I'll give you the benefits of Vedic mathematics. Why we have to learn Vedic mathematics? Nowadays, everybody is talking about Vedic mathematics. I think you would be knowing that many of the concepts will be given in the state syllabus books also, but they are not mentioning as Vedic mathematics. They are giving some other name to that. Let me tell you the benefits of Vedic mathematics. It is faster than conventional method, increases speed and accuracy. That means it takes very less time, less number of steps. There is no scope for confusion in the steps. Verify the answer immediately, breaks the fear of mathematics, builds confidence, improves logical thinking, decision-making abilities, and many more. Once if you learn, you will be understanding what is the importance of Vedic mathematics in our daily life and in future also. From the age of 10, then no age bar, but the children should be completed 10 years. Then afterwards, anybody can learn this Vedic mathematics. It is very, very easy. It is very easily understandable by all. That is not mandatory that everybody should have that maths background or something like that. No, we can learn, anybody can learn in an easy way. Let me start with the special case. Today I'm going to give a very few tricks of Vedic mathematics because of time constraint. In future, if we get opportunity, definitely I want to share many more with you people. Okay, let me start with multiplication by 9. This is called special case. This is multiplication by 9. It is special case. Why I call it as a special case? Whatever the number we are doing, the methods we are doing, it applies only to number 9, not for other numbers. If we try with other numbers, it will not work. So it is called as special case. Let me take this example. 5 into 9. How much time you will take? Maybe a second? Yes. 46 into 99. Again, how much time? I'll ask the same question. Maybe it increases by 1 minute. Suppose if I give this example, how much time you will take? Yes, still it increases the time. It is like directly proportion. If the number of digit increases, the time also increases, right? But I'll teach you a small trick. Within a second, maybe within 30 seconds, we are going to write the answer with any number of digits. So let me write the answer first, then I'll explain. So 45, 5, 4. Then 3, 4, 3, 3, 4, 2, 6, 5, 7. Do you want to know the techniques? Yes, I'm here to teach you this. See here, in the question, what is the number? 5 is there. What I have written? 4, correct? Here also, 46 is there. 45 I have written. So 343 is there. So I have written 342. That means you have to reduce one number from LHS. See here. Now, let me take another example. 1, 2, 5, 4, something. I take with 4-digit number. So what should I write? Yes, of course, yes. 1, 2, 5, 3. Then what is the second half? First half is clear to us now. So you have to reduce one number from the LHS. That is 5 is there. I have written 4. 46 is there. I have written 40. 46 is there. I have written 40. 343 is there. I have written 342. Now in this case, 1, 2, 5, 4 is there. I have written 1, 2, 5, 3. That's all. Then second half, what we have to do? We have to subtract this number by 9 to get the full answer. That is 9 minus 4, that is 5. Here 45 is there. We have to subtract this number. Don't subtract this number. This number, converted number, you have to subtract. That is 9 minus 4, 5. 9 minus 5, 4. That is the answer we get. Here 343 is there. See here. 342 will be subtracted by 999. 9 minus 3, 6. 9 minus 4, 5. 9 minus 2, 7. Yes. Here, what is the answer we get from this? You have to subtract this number from 9999. 9 minus 1, 8. 9 minus 2, 7. 9 minus 5, 4. 9 minus 3, 6. Done? Let me give you an example. If it is possible, you can solve it. Okay? 2, 4, 3, 8, 5, 6. So, along with that, how many nines? 6 nines. Can you solve this? Yes, of course. You're right. 2, 4, 3, 8, 5, 5. Then convert, then subtract. 9 minus 2, 7. 9 minus 4, 5. 9 minus 3, 6. 9 minus 8, 1. 9 minus 5, 4. 9 minus 5, 4. Can you check the answer with this? All of you got the same answer? If it is that, you can give the reactions. Thumbs up. Okay? Yes. Okay, I'm very happy to see this thumbs up. Okay? Last example I'll give you. 3, 6, 89725 into 7 nines. Yeah, 3689725 is multiplied by 7 nines. Okay, I'll give you the answer for this. 3, 6, 8, 9, 7, 2, 4. Done till here? Then 6, 9 minus 3, 6, 9 minus 6, 3, 9 minus 8, 1, 9 minus 9, 0, 9 minus 7, 2, 9 minus 2, 7, 9 minus 4, 5. Here, you need not to subtract also after you practices because we are taking pair of 9, that's all. With 2 digits combination, we are taking pair of 9. Let me explain what is pair of 9. 1 plus 8 will become 9. 2 plus 7 will become 9. Like that, 3 plus 6, 9. Then 4 plus 5, 9. Again, it repeats. 5 plus 4, 6 plus 3, 7 plus 2, 8 plus 1. Like that. If we learn this, we need not to subtract the numbers itself. Once we see 8, we'll go for 1. Once we see 7, we'll go for 2, like that. Easy? Is it understood? If it is there, please thumbs up. Then it helps me to move to the next concept. Yes, yes, done. Thank you. Okay. Let me take the second concept. It is not in order. Whatever the possible tricks within a limited time, I am able to teach the same thing I am taking. Little faster concepts. Okay. Multiplication. So this is called Nichilam multiplication. Nichilam means base. We compare the number with base. What is base? Let me tell you, 10 and powers of 10 will become base. 10, 100, 1000, like that. It goes. Easily we can say that 10 and powers of 10 will become base. If 2 digits are there, we compare with 10. Let me tell you this example. 12 into 13. We compare with 10 because 2-digit number. So 12 is more than 10 by how much? By 2. The same thing, 13 is more than 10 by 3. Is it clear? Done? Okay. Then multiply these two. 3 2s are 6. Then do cross addition. 12 plus 3 is 15 or 13 plus 2 is also 15. Any one time you have to do. Our answer will be 156. Let me explain once again. 12 into 13. So we compare these two numbers with 10 because of 2-digit number. 12 is more than 100 by 12 is more than 10 by 2. 13 is more than 10 by 3. So multiply these two digits. Then do the cross addition. 12 plus 3 will become 15. Okay, got it? Next example, 14 into 12. Yes. 14 is more than 10 by 4. 12 is more than 10 by 2. Correct? Then multiply these two digits. 4 twos are 8. 14 plus 2 is 16. Answer is 168. Without taking much effort, we are going to find the answer for these numbers. So can we avoid these steps? Yes, we can avoid. You can write like this. The same example I'll take. 12 into 13. So you can multiply these two numbers. Anyhow, we are getting these two numbers as the last digit. So multiply these two numbers. 3 twos are 6. You can add 12 plus 3 or 13 plus 2, anything. So this will become 15. Once you know this concept, it is easy for us to simplify the things. Anything, if we want to simplify, we should know the basics. Then only we can go for the simpler one. Is it clear? Yeah, the second example I'll take 14 into 12. So multiply these two digits. 4 twos are 8. Add 14 plus 2 or 12 plus 4. Anything. It will become 68. 16. 168 is the answer. Suppose if the numbers, is it clear? Shall I take the next example? Okay. Next. Let me take this example. 17 into 19. Slight changes are there. The method is simple. 17 is more than 10 by 7. 19 is more than 10 by 9. Here what happens? 9 sevens are. 63 will come. As we are having single digit here, so we have to keep single digit there itself. That 6 will be taken to the left hand side. Then do cross addition. It will become 26. Then you add it. 3, 6 plus 6, 12, 3. 323 is the answer. If it is a carryover number, you have to do like this. Clear? Yeah, let me take the same type of example. Any number you can take it. 16 into 18, and you could have observed that all the numbers are starting from 1. Then this method applies. Okay. So 16 plus 6, 18 plus 8. Again 8 6 are 2 digits will come. So you write here 8, 4 there. Then do the cross addition. It will be 24. So the answer will be 288. Okay? Any confusion? I'll move to the next digits, that is with the 3 digits. If I take 108 into 107, same procedure we are following. 108 is more than 100 by 08. Because to maintain the place values, we have to write 8. For 18, how we write? 18 plus 8, we'll write like this, no? But for 108, we have to write 08. This is for 18. This is for 108. So again 107 plus 07.
Audio is muted.
ಆಫ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ.
No, no, I'm informing.
Now?
Yeah, now it's okay.
Okay. So, let me take this 108 into 107. So, we have to write 108 is more than 100 by 08 because of the place values. So, I cannot write 18 plus 8. This is for 18 only. This for 100 you have to write like this because we are comparing with 100. 107 is more than 100 by 07. You have to multiply 8 sevens are 56. You have to keep 2 digits here itself as we are having 2 digits here. In this case, we had only 1 digit. So I wrote only 1 digit. But in this case, 2 digits are there. So I have to write 2 digits. Then do the cross addition. 108 plus 7, it will become 115. So the answer will be 11556. Now, one more example of this, then I'll move to the next concept. 104 into 109. 104 plus 04. 109 plus 09. 9 fours are 36. 104 plus 9 is 113. So answer is 11336. Clear? I think you have understood this. Can I move to the next concept? Yes. Okay. Suppose the numbers are like this. Till now we have learned the numbers were starting by 1. If the numbers are like this, 98 into 96. So 98 we compare with 100. So 98 is less than 100 by 02. Just observe, in the previous examples, we were writing positive sign because it was more than 100. We were comparing with the base. That was more than 100. But 98 is less than 100 by 02. 96 is less than 100 by 04. If I take this number 9 into 6, we'll compare with 10 because of one digit. 9 is less than 10 by 1. 6 is less than 10 by 4. Like this we will write for single digit. But if I take double digit, we have to write along with the 0 as we are maintaining with the place values. Again the same procedure. Multiply these two numbers. 2 4s are 8. As we are having 2 digits, write 08. Then instead of cross addition, we have to do cross subtraction. 98 minus 4 is 94. So the answer is 9408. Understood? Shall I take the next example? Yes. See here with a single digit only. Here we are multiplying along with the sign also. We need not to worry about the sign because both are negative sign. There in the previous example, both were positive sign. Those also no problem with that. Here also minus and minus. 1 4s are 4. 9 minus 4, 5. That is the answer. 54 is the answer. Let me take this example. 995 into 996. 995 we compare with 1000 now. 3 digits are there. We'll compare with 1000. 995 is less than 1000 by 005. Next, 996 is less than 1000 by 004. Okay. Then Multiply these two digits. 5 4s are 20. Again, I am repeating. Here 3 digits are there. We have to equalize the digits here. So I am adding 0 to the number. 0 to 0. Then do the cross subtraction. 5 minus 4, 1, 9, 9. So answer is 991020. Got the same answer? Okay. You try this. If we keep on increasing the number of digits, it is much more easier. Let me give you this example. 999989 into 999998. It is much more easier to do that. If we cross 4 digit into 4 digit, even our calculator will not give the correct answer. It shows error. But we can do within a minute. 999989 minus 00001 because 89 will compare with these many numbers. Then 999998 minus 00002. Clear? How did I take? So still, if you have a confusion, we have a sutra for this. So that is Nikhilam Sutra, all from 9, last from 10. This is called Nikhilam Sutra. All from 9, last from 10. That means the last digit you have to subtract by 10, the remaining digit you have to subtract by 9. Let me explain with this example. The last digit is 9. I am going to subtract by 10. 10 minus 9 is 1. 9 minus 8 is 1. 9 minus 9, 0. 9 minus 9, 0. 9 minus 9, 0. 9 minus 9, 0. So if we keep on increasing the numbers, compare with the base is little difficult to take the number of zeros along with the numbers. So instead, we are using Nikhilam Sutra, that is all from 9, last from 10. Here the same thing I am applying. I told you, no, Swamiji has formulated 16 sutras. In 16 sutras, this Nikhilam Sutra is very, very important. Throughout Vedic mathematics, we are using this sutra in one or the other way. Okay. So this again, for the second number, 10 minus 8, 2, 9 minus 9, 0, 9 minus 9, 0, 9 minus 9, 0, 9 minus 9, 0, 9 minus 9, 0. We did. Then multiply the last two digits. 11 2s are 22. Equalize the digits along with this number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are there. Here 2 digits already. Another 4 zeros I need to add to equalize the digits. Then subtract. 9 minus 2, 7. 8 minus 0, 8. Along with 4 9s. So our answer is this. Calculator will not give you this much answer. It shows error. Okay. Shall I move to the next concept? Please give thumbs up if you have understood that. Yes. Yes. Okay. The very, very important one is, I don't know how much time I have still. Please let me know if I cross the time. Okay. I have still time. Yes.
Madam, think you both of you decide how much time you can spend it, so that.
Okay.
So now it's a 2:8. So you can take another 5 minutes, so that.
Yeah, 5 minutes I can take. Yes, yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Very important concept is cube root of a perfect cube. Cube root of a perfect cube. So before we go to the concept, you should know this up to 10. Cubes of a number up to 10. 1 cube, 1. 2 cube, 8. 3 cube, 27. 4 cube, 64. 5 cube, 125. 6 cube, 216. 7 cube, 512. 8 cube, 343. Then 8 cube is 512. 9 cube is 729. 10 cube is 1000. I think already you know this. Correct? 1 cube, 2 cube, 3 cube. Here, one thing we have to observe in this table. 1 is ending with 1. Only 2 is ending with 8. 8 is ending with 2. Correct? 3 is ending with 7. 7 is ending with 3. All other numbers are with the same number. It ends 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 9, 9. Like that. 0, 0, 1, 1. If 2 comes at the last digit, you have to write 8. If 8 comes, you have to write 2. If 3 comes, 7 is the last digit, you have to write 3. If 3 is the last digit, you have to write 7. Correct? Let me take this example. It works only for the perfect cube. Within a second, we are going to find out the answer for this. 32,768. As we are taking cube root of a number from right hand side, can you see this? I'm moving from my hand. 8, 6, 7. From right hand side, after 3 digits, we will make a comma. It will become A. This will become B. As already I told you, this, if the number is ending with 8, which number we have to write? 2. Yes, write 2. From now we'll come to part A. Which maximum cube you can subtract from this number? 32 is there, no? You need not to subtract. Which maximum cube you can subtract? Let me check. So you can subtract 1, you can subtract 8, you can subtract 27. But which is the maximum one? 3 is the maximum. 27 you can subtract. So 27 cube root is 3. So we have to write 3. Therefore, cube root of 32,768 is 32. You can check with your mobile now. You can multiply 32 into 32 into 32. You will get this answer. I'll give 1 minute time. You can check. Right? Yes, done. Easy. I'll explain 1 or 2 examples. You will understand better now. 6, 1, 4, 1, 2, 5. As already I told you, after 3 numbers from right hand side, 5, 2, 1, from right hand side, we will make a comma. This will become A, this will become B. See here, 5 is ending with 5 only. Correct? Only 1 digit is there, so write 5. So which maximum cube you can subtract from this? See here, I can subtract 512. This is the maximum one. Now, what is the answer? Of course, yes, 85. Therefore, cube root of 614,125 is 85. Got it? Yes, let me explain 1 or 2 examples. You will understand better. 157. These are all perfect cubes. Whatever the examples I am taking, these are all perfect cube. Okay. Now, 4, 6, 4. You make it as A and B. 4 is ending with 4 only. Take 4. 157 is there. From this, which maximum cube you can subtract is 125. That's all. 216 we cannot subtract. 125 we can subtract. So 5 cube is 125. So I have to take 5. So the answer is cube root of 157, 464 is 54. Is it clear? Any doubt? Please, you can give thumbs up if you have understood. Okay. 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 I'm getting slowly. Okay. No problem with that. So far, I have given the glimpse of Vedic mathematics. There are many more techniques. Due to lack of time, I'm able to give you few tricks of Vedic mathematics. Hope you all are enjoyed this. And next, thank you for the opportunity given again. So over to Vidya. Thank you. Vidya, are you here? Yes, audio is muted. Audio is not there, Vidya. It is muted. Yes.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello everybody.
Yes.
That was a very nice session, Suma ma'am. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you. Thank you.
Hello everybody. I'm Srividya Subramaniam. I'm a director of Suchinta Solution Private Limited. Today we'll be seeing aptitude and reasoning. So thank you for the opportunity given by the Cambridge Institute of Technology. We are glad to use it. Thank you so much. Aptitude and reasoning is actually very important when you come to your final year of engineering. So you will not have time to solve problems or to get ready for aptitude, because you know that the first round of any company, it is first is aptitude and reasoning. So any examinations you take, there are two things that have paramount importance. The first is, how do you solve a particular question or what approach you take? And the second one is how long you take to solve a problem. The challenging thing in aptitude and reasoning is you need to solve a problem within 1 minute. We are not flexible as we were in our primary or high school. Yes or no? Because we have too many things now to study, and even that quickness will not be there as we grow. That is why we have got some of the tricks and shortcuts for aptitude as well as reasoning, so that you can easily solve the problems. All right, where you can save time, your answers are perfect, and you can come out with the answers on a higher note. In aptitude and reasoning, we have two things. You have to remember this. In aptitude, that is what we call it as general aptitude. In general aptitude, we have arithmetic aptitude and data interpretation. Arithmetic aptitude takes lot of marks in any of the competitive examinations. It can be Union Public Service Commission, that is UPSC, Banking Service Recruitment Board, that is BSRB, Railway Recruitment, or MBA entrance examinations. So whichever competitive examination you take, aptitude and reasoning, which we call it as mental ability, is very important to solve the problems. All right, as I was telling you, in general aptitude, we have arithmetic and data interpretation. In verbal and reasoning, we have verbal ability, logical reasoning, non-verbal reasoning, and verbal reasoning. This is very vast. This is very vast. Only whichever is important to you, we are going to take. We have shortage of time, so I am taking 2 topics from aptitude and 2 topics from reasoning. All right. Let us start with a very important topic. It is called time and work. very important topic. In any of the examination you take, you will get this definite question. Before that, let me tell you the advantages of learning aptitude. It makes you to think logically and you can come to the conclusion. It also helps to solve in your professional career whenever you are in the situation of complexity or ambiguity. It gives you a lot of positive thinking, because that's why I say whenever you're good in math or whenever you're good in taking decisions, this will definitely important to you. All right, so let us start with a very important topic, which we call it as time and work. All right. So time and work, what is the questions will be like this. If A can do the work in 10 days, B can do work in 20 days, how long does C takes? And the questions will be really lengthy. So what happens is I'm teaching you a short trick where you can, within a minute, you can solve time and work. All right, students? See, I'm going to give you a formula now, which is based on the chain rule. The first formula is like this. See here, P1 H1 D1 divided by P2 H2 D2, which is given by W1 by W2. What are all these? P is number of persons, H is number of hours, D is number of days. Okay? W is number of work done. Now, this is the case 1. Let us see the case 2 or formula 2. So, P1 H1 D1 is equal to P2 H2 D2 if the work is not given. Getting my point? So, if work done is given, you directly use the formula P1 H1 D1 by P2 H2 D2, which is equal to W1 by W2. Very simple. Within a second, you can write down the solution. All right. So these are the two formulas. When work done is given, kindly use the formula 1. When work done is not given, please take the formula, this one. All right. Let us solve one problem so that you will be able to understand. My question is like this. 15 men can type 3,240 pages in 6 days. Working 2 hours per day, how many men would be required to type 5,400 pages working 4 hours per day for 3 days? Reading this question only will take almost 30 seconds, correct? So instead of taking the traditional formula, now since they have given what number of person, only A is given, the other person is not given, work done is given. As I told you, whenever the work done is given, kindly use the formula 1. Ashte. Now write down all the data you have. So P1 is 15, P2 we need to find out. Work done, that is typing the pages 3,240 and W2 is 5,400. Okay, days is also given and hours is also given. Now you can write the formula P1 H1 D1 by P2 H2 D2, which is equal to W1 by W2. Now just write down all the values which are given in the question and solve for P2. All right, got this one? Now let us see the second method. 39 persons can repair a road in 12 days, working 5 hours a day. In how many days will 30 persons working 6 hours a day to complete the work? So what is happening here? We don't have the work done here. If work done is not given, use the formula 2. What is the formula 2? P1 H1 D1 is equal to P2 H2 D2. So write down the formula and solve the value of X. One of the simplest method which we can use in time and work is this, which is based on the chain rule. Hope you understood this formula. If you want to write down, you can write down. P1 H1 D1 by P2 H2 D2, W1 by W2. This is when work done is given. When it is not given, just P1 H1 D1 is equal to P2 H2 D2. Okay, so time and work is one of the very important, and minimum you will get 2 to 3 questions based on time and All right. So let us go to the next topic, which is the very important topic, which is percentage. Let me tell you, there is lot of difference between percent and percentage. All right. Can anyone tell me what is the difference between percent and percentage? Yeah. Percent is 200. All right. Percentage is the entire quantity. The entire quantity is called as percentage. 200 is only percent. Usually what we do is we club up these two. We say percent and percentage both are same. Definitely not. It is not same. Percent is different from percentage. Percent is 200. Percentage is total amount or the quantity. Now, one trick I am going to teach you here today. So, if the questions are based on what percentage of 9 is 45 or 9% of 68 is how much. So, these questions are common in all the aptitude papers I have seen. Okay. So, it will take a lot of time for us and we get confused where we have to write what. One of the best trick in percentage we have is, remember children, is by of is equal to percentage by 100. So what does this mean? Any number coming after is, write in the numerator. Any number coming after of, write in the denominator, which is equal to percentage by 100. Or we also called as this, we call it as part, and this we call it as whole. So easily you can solve and quickly you can solve. Let me give a question based on this. Okay. What percent of a day is 6 hours? Okay, it's very easy. But what happens is whenever when you are solving for every aptitude paper, will have 60 questions. So 60 questions you have to solve in 60 minutes. You will be in tension and you will take time. It is, am I getting this or am I not getting this? You might get, confused, or you may take a lot of time, So in such cases, what you can do, whenever you come across to find the percentage, use this formula. Number, what did I tell you? Any number coming after is, right, in the numerator. It is what? 6. Any number coming after of should be written where? In the denominator. We know a day is how much? It is 24. So is admele 6 I have written in the numerator. Of admele day he has given, so I have written in the denominator, which is equal to 100. So this will give me 25%. All right. This particular question was asked in HP paper, entrance examination. This question was asked. Now, can you solve this for me? What percent of 20 is 30? Can you see me? What percent of 20 is 30? Can you please tell me the answer? Yeah. Suraj Kumar, very good. It is 150. Very good, Suraj. And Mark John, Nirmala, Yashaswini, excellent. So any number coming after is should be written in the numerator. Correct? Any number coming after of should be written in the denominator into 100. So we know that we have to find the value of x here, which is 150. So remember this formula. So it is not only for the short questions like this, it is also for the questions. In Martarendra, they will give you a big problem. Very simple answer. What is the percent of this? So what we scratch our head. So don't worry. Whenever you come across is matte of, directly you can write is by of is equal to percentage by 100. All right. All are fine with this? Very good. Sirisha also has got the perfect answer. Right. So can I go for the second one? Next trick. Hello. Can you say yes or thumbs up, please? Yes, good. Now let us see the percentage change. This is also very important. So what happens is in percentage change, it may be increase in percentage or it may be decrease in percentage. Actually, we have a very big formula to find the percentage change, as you have seen in your primary sections. All right. Now, don't worry. I am going to give you a very simple method to find the percentage. This is also a very common question in any competitive examination. Just you have to remember this. New value minus old value divided by the old value into 100. That is all. That is all. Okay. So new value minus old value divided by the old value into 100. If at all you get the answer as positive, it means there is a percentage increase. If you get a negative value, it means it is a percentage decrease. That is all. Okay. Let us solve one problem on that. Okay. If you find it difficult to write a problem, you can just note down the data given here. See, the question is like this. In 2017, the price of gas in a certain state changed from rupees 2.24 to 2.56. Calculate the percentage in the price of a gas in 2017. All right. So the percentage change. What did I tell you? New value, that is 2.56 minus 2.24, which is the old value, divided by the old value into 100.
Excuse me, madam.
Yes, sir.
It's not visible. Just.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
internet had a problem. It's fine, sir, now?
Yeah.
Okay, as I told you, the percentage, new value minus old value divided by the old value into 100. So when you solve for this, you will get 2.24. This is 0.32 into 100. Okay, where you will get the answer as, okay, 0.142 into 100. The answer is 14.29%. The sub question, they will also ask you whether it is a percentage increase or a decrease. Very good. I'm getting correct answers. All right, this is how, because it's a compulsory question. So don't use any other formula, directly use this formula. New value minus old value divided by old value into 100. All right. So since this number is bigger than this, you will definitely get a positive number, and the answer is also positive. I can say there is a percentage increase. Okay, sometimes you only have to tell there is increase or decrease. That is all. Okay. Now let us take up the second question. All right. Hope I'm not fast, children, because the time is very much limited for us. Hope I'm fine with you. Yeah. I assume I'm slow. All right. Okay. Now, let us solve this. Can you solve and tell me? 600 students registered for a college chemistry course. After the first test, 140 students dropped out of the class. What is the percentage change? Kelavansala, they will not ask as percentage change. They will say calculate the percentage. So when you see the variations here, you have to assume it is a percentage change. Can you solve this? Okay, let me do it now. See, we know that the new value. So what has happened here is 500 students, of which the 150 are dropout. So let us take the first value now. So 140 are, we should minus because they are out now. They are dropout. Correct? So 500 minus 140 is equal to, you will get as 360. Correct? Now, this is your new value now. Correct? Huh? This is your new value. The old value is how much? Which is 500. Correct? Hope you are getting this. Okay. Now, so what happens is, let us see the percentage now. The new value 360 minus 500 divided by the old value. 360 is lesser than 500. You will get what? Minus. Very good. We'll get minus. So it is 140 divided by 500 into 100. So approximately, children, very good. This is Krishna, Suraj, Veena Kumari, Sunil, all are giving the right answer. You will get minus 28%. So minus 28 and Renartha, there is a decrease in the percentage. Sometimes they will ask you only increase or decrease. Okay. When you take up this formula, this is one of the best and easy method in the percentage concept. One more thing I would like to tell in percentage. We're always in a hurry to solve the problems. So again, you have to remember one thing in percentage. Whenever you come across a word, percentage increase of 10% andre, okay, or there is an increase of Vaishnavi, correct pa, 10% andre, remember one thing, you forget to write 100 plus 10, remember this, which becomes 110%. Whenever there is increase in Kelika, there is 10% increase in the profit antirte. We forget, we write it as 10 only. You have to remember, whenever you come across the word percentage increase antidre, please add that number to 100. Decrease antidre, suppose there is a 10% decrease andre, 100 minus 10, which is 90%. This is a very important concept, because this will be used in ratio and proportions, pipes and cisterns, in different other problems. So you have to be very careful. Percentage increase, percentage decrease. All right. Now this is about the percentage. So these two topics I have taken from the aptitude. Okay. Let us see the next topic, which is dice. It comes from a logical reasoning. Very important topic is dice. Okay. Before going to the topic, children, are you fine with the time and work in percentage? Can I go further, children? Yeah, very good. Okay. Now, let us go to the dice I was telling you. In dice, we have two types. One is called a standard dice. The other one is called as a general dice. Okay. Now, let me give you an example here. I have two dice here. Assume, can't landre, please assume it as a dice. All right. So I have an example for you here. 5, 4, 1. Okay. 3, 2, 6. You have a dice here. Aita? Now, sum of any two sides, if it is not coming as 7, consider it as a standard dice. All right. Yake andre nodi illi any two sides. 4 plus 1 is 5, 5 plus 1 is 6, 5 plus 4 is 9. Namaki illi 7 bartilla. All right. 3 plus 2 is 5, 6 plus 2 is 8, and 6 plus 3 is 9. Sum of any two sides, if you don't get 7, then it is called as standard dice. Okay. It is called as standard dice. Any two sides, the sum should not come 7. Standard. General dice andre eno, sum of any two sides you will get as 7. That is the difference between the general dice and the standard dice. 3 to 4, 5 to 1. Simply, the example. Here you can see, children, 4 plus 3 is 7. Correct? Sum of any two sides. 5 plus 2 is 7. So, the sides, the sum of any two sides, if you get as the sum as 7, it becomes a general dice. If you don't get as 7, it becomes a standard dice. All right. The common question you will get is, what is the opposite of what? Ashte dice alli kedodu. All right. Let us see one standard dice now. I have an example here. Kindly adjust with my dice. Okay, I have an example like this. Okay, napa 1, 5, 4 ide. Now I am asking you the question, what is the opposite of 1? What is the opposite of 1 is my question. All right. So what happens is, usually we get confused with the sides, faces of the dice. Very simple trick what I have here. See, the sum is coming 7. No, 5, 4, 1 ide. Yell add madidru, we are not getting sum. When we don't get the sum as 7, what we call it as? We call it as standard dice. Standard dice is sikkapate simple. Why it is? Because the opposite of 1 they are asking. Correct? 1 ge how much you add to get 7? For 1, how much you add to get 7? So it becomes what? 6. Prashant, correct. Very good. So 1 plus 6 is equal to 7. Standard dice, it is very easy to find out the opposite side. Can you tell me for opposite to 5? What is opposite to 5? 2. Mark John, very good. It is 2. Lakshmi, good. Why? Again, we want opposite of 5. 5 ge, how much we add? We should get 7. We add 2. So 5 plus 2 is 7. The opposite of number is 2. Okay, this is also a very common question you will be having in the competitive papers. Dice is very important. Now, let us see another example for general dice. So we got to know to see the opposite side of standard dice. Let us see the general dice. General dice, we have 2 conditions. One is when one number is common. Second case, when 2 numbers are common. Aita? In general dice, you will get 2. How do you know it is a general dice? When sum of 2 sides will become 7. So let me give you an example like this now. Okay. Okay. I take it as 1, 3, 2, and 1, 5, 6. All right. So I have an example like this: 1, 3, 2, and 1, 5, 6. When one number is common. So whenever the one number is common, top alli number common. We have 2 numbers common. Start from the common number. If at all the 1 was in this side, start from that side. Wherever the common you have to go from clock direction. Since on the top we have both as 1 as common, so clockwise will be like this. So how I can write 1, 2, 3, hinge, just clockwise. 1, 2, 3, and illi matte common I have 1. So I have 1, 5, 6. Okay. Now you have to understand one thing here. 2 is opposite to 5. 3 is opposite to 6. 2 is opposite to 5 and 3 is opposite to 6. Okay. 1 cannot be opposite to 1 alva. So remaining what is the number? 4. 4 garukombadi. If they ask what is the opposite of 1, it becomes 4. 2 get 5 opposite. For 3, we have 6 as the opposite. Understood? Again, I will tell you. Namge general dice, when you have understood it is a general dice, the first case. What is the first case? When one number is common. We have 1 common here. Whichever the number is common, allinda you have to start clockwise. 1 to 2, 2 to 3. Again, 1 to 6, 6 to 5. That is how I have written. 1, 2, 3 and 1, 5, 6. 2 is opposite to 5, 3 is opposite to 6, 1 cannot be opposite to 1, so I have written as remaining number 4. Okay? Always go, Likhita, please go in the direction. Okay? Sorry, 165. Correct. 165. 1, 2, 3 and 165. Likhita, you are right, pa. Yes, yes, yes. Now, when 2 numbers are common, adukond example kodtini ga. You have 2, 1, 5, 1, 4, 5. We have 2 numbers common. What are those? 1, 1, 5, 5. When 2 numbers are common, I have 1 common and 5 common. So obviously we have only 2 numbers. 2 is opposite to 4. That is all. In a general dice. Standard dice is very easy. How much you add to get the opposite directly you can write. In general dice, this is also very easy. So let us solve problems now. Okay. Now, can you tell me the answer for this? What is opposite of 4? What is opposite of 4? So first thing you have to understand, is it a general dice or a standard dice? Namge one side ali, we know it is this 5 plus 2 is giving us 7. If you get sum of any two sides as the sum 7, it is called a general dice. Very good, general dice. Okay, so iga tumba simple agide namgiga. We also have one number in common, yes, which is 5. So 5 elli common idyo, allinda you have to take the clockwise direction. Okay, so general dice we have now. So from 5 is common, 6 is 2. Again 5, 1, 1, 4. So now I can write as, because one number is common, 5, 6, 2, 5, 1, 4. 6 is opposite to 1, 2 is opposite to 4. So what is opposite of 4? It is 2. If at all they ask, what is the opposite of 5? Remaining any there? We can write 3. Opposite of 5 is 3. Artha aita? Hope you got it. Can you say yes? I got the answer, so definitely you must have understood. Yes? Yes, good. Nirmala, Kusuma, Archana, Aishwarya, Prashant, Tharani. Very good, very good. Now, can you solve this? Can you solve this? What is opposite of 1? Quickly, I should get answer. Quickly, let me see who will give me the first answer. Rimshia, John, very good. George, Reddy, very good, very good. We know this is a standard dice. Why? Because sum of any two sides we are not getting 7. 4 plus 2, 2 plus 1, 4 plus 1, whatever. You are not getting 7. So it is a standard dice. So we know that since he has asked the opposite of 1, what we can add to 1 to get the 7. So the answer is 6. The opposite of 1 is 6. Is it simple? Yes? Yes? Is it simple, children? Yes, very good. Good, good, good. Now, let us, please, can you solve this? Kantidya, you're able to see this? 632, 624, 564, 142. You have more number of dice here. The answer is, what is opposite to 6? Answer is, very good. Giant. Very good. Likita, Kusuma, very good, very good. The answer is 1. We know it is a standardized because any two sides you take, you're not getting a 7. So what can I add to 6 to get 7? It is 1. So opposite of 6 is 1. Super. Very good. Now let us take the another problem now. See. See here. Can you solve this and tell me now? You're able to see 236, 524, 631. Three, 5, 1. Okay. So one thing you have to understand here is we can solve this in 2. How that? We have one number common and two number common. Correct? So let us take first these two. First when you take first two, any one of the side you should get 7. So 5 plus 2 is 7. So this is what? This is a general dice. This is a general dice because we have sum of any two sides we are getting as 7. Okay. We know that when one number is common, what is common here? We have 2. Illi 2 with a, illi 2 with a. Let us start with the clockwise direction. Correct? So 2, 6, 3, 2, 5, 4. Correct? So 6 is opposite to 5, 3 is opposite to 4, 2 cannot be opposite to 2, it is 1. Opposite of 2 is 1. This is first case. This is perfect. This is correct answer. Very good. Now, in another way also we can see. We can also, anytime you get 4 cubes, 4 or 5, whatever it may be, first compare first 2, then you compare 1 and 3, then you compare 1 and 4. Whichever the answer has to remain the same. All right. So let us see. For your understanding, I'm saying 1, 2, we could solve. It is correct. Let us see 1 and 3 now. 1 and 3. We have 2 numbers common. That is 3 and 6. Nodi, illi 3, 6. Illi kuda 3 and 6. So opposite of 2 is 1. So again, this when we are taking the second, when 2 numbers are common. When 2 are common. So opposite of 2 is 1. We write like this. Fine, children? Is this fine? You understood? Yeah? Can you send me yes, type, thumbs up, whatever it may be? Yeah? Okay. Very good, very good. Now, Tanuja, okay, pa. Yashaswini, okay, no doubt till now? See, why are we hurrying up this? It is only to tell you that we have so many tricks. In no time and workally, we have number of tricks. This is only the direct problems what we had given to you. But most of the time and work problem also based on the fraction. 1/5 of work, 1 second of work, 2/3 of work. That and all are very confusing, but still we do have tricks for everything in aptitude and reasoning. It is only that we have to come and do face-to-face the training with your in your college. Once all these gets over, then definitely we can solve more number of problems and you get to know this aptitude is very easy. All right. Now, can I take one more topic, ma'am, or we don't have time now, ma'am? Hello?
Madam, it's 2:50, madam. So you can take another 5 minutes.
Sorry, sir, I'm not able to. Can I take 5 more minutes, sir?
Yeah, you can.
Yes, sir.
Oh, great. Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. Okay. This topic is very, very interesting. What I'm going to teach today, which is syllogism. One of the very interesting thing. But this shortcut where what I'm going to teach you today, you would have definitely not heard anywhere. Because the syllogisms are usually based on the Venn diagram. All right, Venn diagram mele madodu. Sum of this, like this, or 2, athara. We are not using Venn diagram at all in our shortcuts because it is very tedious and it will take a lot of understanding for us. Tumba time hidiyate. Also, you cannot, you will not be like feeling like solving those problems based on syllogisms. So I have some of the important tricks to solve syllogisms. Ishtu tricks anatra ide, but I cannot cover all these today in your class. One eradu matra I will be able to help you. This is how it goes. All plus all is equal to all. Angandre eno, usually in syllogisms, you will have 2 things. Yeah, my audio is off. You're not able? No, it is no.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
audible.
It's working, sir? Okay, sir. So, what it means is statements and arguments, statements and conclusions. This is what is called about syllogism. Eradu statement kotirtare. They have given you 2 statements and 2 conclusions. Okay, this is actually very tough. Many people say it is very tough because they are not aware of the short tricks. You can write here. All plus all is all, which means any statement starting with all, okay, should conclude with all. All plus no is no. All plus some is no conclusion. Like this, I have 7 tricks. I have 7 tricks. Very quickly, I will show you one method. You will be really happy to see because when I was learning this decades ago, when I was feeling it as very easy. Remember. So usually hingirutte. Statement kotirtare, conclusion kotirtare. The statement is like this. All boys are intelligent. Correct, no? All intelligence are girls. We have to, correct, no? We have to accept it. All, both are intelligent, right? So, idna, remember one thing. Boys. First statement, first word, we call it as subject. This is called predicate. This is called subject. This is called predicate. In this statement, both the statements are starting with all. All boys are intelligent. All intelligence are girls. All right. Now, very simple trick. What we have, the predicate of the first statement is same as the subject of the second statement. So intelligence, intelligence, cross it off. All right. You get the statement as all boys are girls, which is not true. Just for example, I'm telling. All right. So all boys are girls. Getting my point? Now, let us take some of the examples you will be understanding well. See, usually the questions will be like this. Statement. All books are pens. Statement 1. All pens are pencils. Conclusion. All books are pencils. All pencils are books. Let us not see about the conclusions now. Let us see the first statement now. So what we have statement? All books are pens. All pens are pencils. Correct? So we know again here the subject, predicate, subject, predicate. The predicate of the first statement, subject of the second statement is same. My answer is what? All books are pencils. Conclusion kottidara? Kottidare. All books are pencils. So the first option is the right one. Okay, just for understanding, first we got the answer, it is correct. Let me tell you here. All pencils are books. Okay, all pencils are books. Remember, can also be written as some books are pencils. Yenilla, subject na predicate na when you interchange, some will come. That is all. Sometimes what happens? Conclusions will kottiralla. That is why I am saying. All books are pencils, the right answer, very good. For your understanding, I am saying is all pencils are books can be written as some books are pencils. Okay. So the simple is, again, let me repeat. Both statements are starting from all. The solution should also be all only. All plus all is equal to all. First thing. All books are pencils. All books are pens. All pens are pencils. So, pens are common. So, I have just dragged it out. You can write as all books are pencils. All right. Now, can you please solve this for me? Statement goes like this. All pots are horses. All horses are plates. Please solve this for me. All pots are horses. All horses are plates. Now, so the conclusion is what? Some plates are pots. All plates are pots. Let us come to the statement now. All pots are horses. All horses are plates. So we know that all plus all is equal to all only. This is subject. This is predicate. This is subject. This is predicate. So the predicate of the first statement goes with the subject of the second statement. So namgen bandidega. All pots are plates. What we have got? All pots are plates. Do we have the solution in the conclusion? Have they given us this? No, they have not given us all pots are plates. We have what we have to do. This is correct. This is 100% correct. All pots are plates is correct. But what we can write is, as I told you, to convert all to some. Yen madbeku? For some barkombidi. Just interchange the subject and predicate. Some plates are what? Pots. That is all. So you have got the answer 1. You got this? Okay. So just you have to remember. Thank you, Pooja. You just have to remember all plus all is equal to all. Very simple. Okay. First one is correct. Correct, Prashant. Correct, Prashant? And who else? Many have solved this. Very good. So this is what you have to remember, children. All plus all is always is equal to all. But if at all it is not given in the conclusion, don't worry. Adana some you can change by just interchanging the subject and the predicate. All right. Now, last one. Let us go into see now. This is over. All plus all is equal to all. Ide tara pratyondu. I have 7 like this. I have 7 syllogism like this. All are like this only. Nothing is difficult for you. Like usually this is not only 2 statements. In your examinations, you may get around 3 statements, 4 statements, 6 statements. Nothing to worry. Just you have to follow whatever the formulas we have. All right. Or tricks we have. Let us take the second one. All plus no is equal to no. So the first is all. Wow, Suraj is very fast, very, very fast, very good. All tigers are horses. No horse is a dog. So let us understand one thing. All plus no is always no only. Andre no statement all no. The solution you should get no only, as we saw in the previous one. All plus all is all. All plus no is no. You should start. And the statement or the conclusion should start from no anta artha. All right. Same, nothing change here. The same thing goes here. All tigers are horses, not horses at all. Now, horses. E predicate. The subject of the predicate of the first statement and the subject of this one. Both goes as. So what we have, all tigers are horses, no horse is dog, horse hoitu, all tigers is dog. So what I told you, all plus no is no. So no, all plus no is no. So no tiger is dog. So no tiger is dog is the right answer. No tiger is the right answer. Let us solve one more problem. We'll do it. So let us end the session. Statement. All students, statement 1, all students are scouts. Okay. No scout.
Ma'am, not visible.
Sorry. Okay. The statement 1 is all students are scouts. No scout is lady. No scout is lady. I'll not give you the option. Can you tell me? All students are scouts. No scout is lady. So we know that scouts and scouts will go. Oh, no student is lady. Excellent. Vishnu, Priya, and Rimshia. Very good. Many of them are giving the right answer. Very good. Brinda, very good. So scouts and scouts will go. All students is lady can be written as no student is lady. All right. Very good, Pooja. And many of them are giving the right answer. Very good. So this was only an introduction class to all of you to make aptitude reasoning, Vedic mathematics as easy as you find. So when you understand Vedic mathematics, aptitude and reasoning will be very easy because number of whatever Suma Balu ma'am has taught you, all these will be helpful in the statement problems. So definitely it will be helpful. So if you can learn side by side Vedic mathematics, aptitude and reasoning, you will be thorough for your final year because you cannot dedicate time in your final year. Remember, because in final year, you have a lot of work to do. You have to do a project. You have to study too many things. Okay. We had only 2 subjects. Probably you have 4 subjects now. So it is very important for you. Kickstart, pull up your socks right from today by understanding this Vedic mathematics and aptitude and reasoning. If your college gives us a platform for you to connect with your children, it will be great. Thank you all students for giving your time and supporting us. Thank you to the faculty also who keep smiling for the entire session. It is really motivating and inspiring. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Within a short time, both of you given much information, ma'am. And we are amazing to see all these tricks by both the speakers.
Yeah.
I hope it was
useful
for everyone. We request all the participants to fill feedback forms to get e-certificates.
Okay.
Thanksgiving is best giving. So it is prime
you.
duty for us to thank all the people who involved and made this session a grand success. At last, but not the least, I request Dr. Shanti, Dean of Basic Sciences, to give vote of thanks. Over to you, ma'am.
Ma'am. Shanti ma'am, you're not audible.
Shanti ma'am?
Yeah. Like actually our principal sir, in spite of his busy schedule, he was throughout the session, he was there with us. So sir, like anything, any suggestions you wanted to say? I think so. Maybe he's busy, I think so.
Yeah.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. I consider it as a great privilege to propose a vote of thanks to each and every one of you who have witnessed today's webinar, a memorable and successful event. My heartfelt thanks to Mrs. Suma NR for enlightening us with Vedic mathematics. Ma'am, your presentation took the audience in and held their attentions for the complete session.
Okay.
There was never a dull moment. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
My sincere thanks to Mrs. Sri Vidya for the presentation on aptitude and logical reasoning. Thank you so much, ma'am, for that interesting, interactive, and highly informative presentation and the tricks provided to our students. Thanks a lot for both of you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Our sincere gratitude to you also, ma'am. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you. Thank you, one and all.
I thank our
Opportunity.
respected chairman for extending all the support to conduct such program. I thank our CEO for his support, vision, and commitment. My heartfelt thanks to our beloved principal for his motivation, minute-to-minute guidance, and encouragement. I extend my sincere gratitude to all HODs and faculties of various departments, participants for today's webinar, and my dear students. Really, my students are very interactive today. Thank you all. Finally, I thank all my fellow colleagues, supportive staffs, and all those people who have worked very hard to make this program a grand success. I once again thank one and all. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Shanti ma'am. Let us end the session. Thank you.
On the outset, madam, I'll be calling you for the college. Okay, when the students come, please visit our college.
Sure.
Sure, ma'am.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, ma'am.
Thank you.
Pleasure
Very,
is
very
ours.
interesting, very informative. Surely
Okay.
we need your help.
Okay,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Sure. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Good day, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, good day. Thank you. Bye.
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 Okay.
Okay. I'll end the session. Thank you. Thank you everyone for attending the session. Yeah.